Oh dear, let's get this going. I think we'll put this on the hat, eh? That's a good idea. Why isn't it showing live? Okay, so let's just test the audio. Good work. Audio's tested. That's good, that's good, that's good. Telstra bills manageable. Hello Sindel, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Our first time chatter. Jesus Christ, that was quick. Judging by that response from when the stream went live, Sindel, you'd be able to run 100 metres in 6 seconds. And it doesn't work on here. Awesome. Oh dear. Excuse me for a second. Now I've got to go to Discord. Excellent. I'm good, thank you very much, Sindel. How are you? You well? All right, let's do some work. We can't sit around being popular all day, can we, Sindel? Oh, excellent. Glad to hear it, Sindel. Glad to hear it. All right, now. Oh, I'm feeling old today. I'm feeling old. That's right, I look old. All right. Welcome everyone. Today we are going to be planting our garlic for the winter. So a couple of things we've got to do first. What we did is let's do that again. Right, and come back in. Yep. Hi everyone. What we did is we prepared, that's the word I was looking for before, we prepared our garden bed for the garlic this year. Now, there's a couple of things I've got to do. I've got to transplant 2 different types of rhubarb out into this garden bed. But this is the one that had all the ferny type things in there that you can't eat, so we had to get rid of it, didn't we? So first things first, let me just get this sorted. Oh, come on. I'll go to here. Excuse me, I've got to have chat. Now, I don't need the hotspot anymore. Yes. Twitch. Search. Australis TV before the abuse starts. And go to Australis TV. Let's not worry about the Wi-Fi. Live, great. Welcome to the 10 viewers that are in the stream. Live. Excellent. All right, that can go down there. All right. Hey, Kiwi Aaron, how are you, bud? Kia ora. Now, what I'm going to do is, when you've got ferns and stuff like that that are in garden beds, what they'll do is they'll take up most of the moisture. So basically, what we've got now is we've got a hydrophobic garden bed, which means it just repels water. So what I've got to do is, there's absolutely no organic matter in this, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to put some in here. Now the easiest way to do this, right, as we do all along, is, oh dear, Sindel, see, if you're a staunch supporter of the stream, Sindel, and you've actually been around for a while, you know that this garden bed was deliberately left so that they could die off, okay? Hence they're yellow and they're much easier to take out of the ground when they've died off. This is a false flowering ginger, okay? I'm not going to say the joke that I'm thinking of, Sindel, but I'm sure you figured it out, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get some chicken shit out of the garden. I'm going to dump about 10 kilos in here, then we're going to water it in, and then once I think we've got enough watering done, right, we're going to transplant the rhubarb. Now, so to transplant all the chicken manure into the garden bed, we need a really scientific and high-tech tool to do that with. I'll just get it for you, like all the TV shows, you know. Sick of TV shows trying to make people spend money. I'm over it. Here it is. It's a bucket. Okay. So what we'll do now is we'll do a little view of the chickens in the chook pen. There we are. Well, not chook pen. This is a garden bed I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, I'm trying to get them to eat all the cooch grass out of it. All right, just give me a second. I'm just going to go up to the chook pen and get about 10 kilos. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing, Bubby? What are you doing? Come here. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, bugger. Just remembered I've got to take someone some eggs. And the spy is watching the stream. So that means the phone will go off in about 30 seconds and then the cycle starts. Anyway, life goes on. So, 8, Sindel. I had 12, but 4 of them were cocks. Which is an abbreviation of cockerel. Rightio, don't write in over that joke, people, because it was never designed to be offensive, okay? Yes, yes, yes. Oh dear. All right. Okay. Lovely. There we go. This is why we put the cement bottom in the bottom of the chook pen. So that we could get all the chicken manure. Rightio. Okay, so there we are. Lovely. All right. So let's bring this back in here. So gardening's pretty easy, people. Just got to remember your soil is the medium for your plants to grow into. So once you've got your soil right, everything else falls into place. So this is a highly scientific method. All right, there you go. I've just applied the correct square meterage of fertiliser. Right. Hey Blood Angel, how are you, mate? Welcome to the stream. How about we go less zoomies and more roomies? Right, so now, is that going to reach? No, it's not going to reach. Damn it. Oh, it might actually. Oh, get out of there. Right. No, this should reach. All right, let me get the... Hey chickens, what are you doing, eh? You good? Right. So, full bore ahead. Alright people, just going to give a couple of the fruit trees a drink. I've actually got pawpaws on the tree for the first time. This tree's doubled in size in about, I don't know, 6 months. So the roots have well and truly set. I'm going to have to give this another drink at some stage, I think. Rightio. So, okay. So now what we're going to do is, it's a very simple process. It's not that high tech, people. Right. Everybody's got a fishing joke, Sindel. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to water in this manure. Right, I think it's dry enough already anyway. There's absolutely no moisture in this soil. Right. So what we're going to do is, by adding the organic matter in the form of the chicken manure, right, what we'll do then is we'll transplant the rhubarb. Probably not where I am, Blood Angel, because it's too cold down here for them. Although I know people that have grown them in hothouses, okay? Now, for those of you that are worrying about water restrictions, This is technically hand watering, so it's allowed. Okay. I think that's a good thing about Queensland Blood Angel. You can grow anything there, can't you? Or anything tropical. I don't know about non-tropical stuff. Right. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop this up a bit. I've left the leaves and that sort of stuff because they'll break down eventually anyway. Another thing too, people, if you want to put some more volume into your soil, you know, like your foam packaging and that sort of stuff, you can scrunch that up and mix that in your soil as well. It'll help aerate it. Just going to leave that like that for a second. Right. And just let that fill up. Come on. But you know what? Hey Gazza, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Now, even though I've put a heap of water on this, the soil underneath will still be really dry. So what I'm going to try and do is just level it out. Okay. You're welcome, mate. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because what I've done, as you can see here, right, is I'm really trying to get some water into this soil, right, but because it has had nothing for so long. What have you been doing, Gazza? Been getting out and about, mate? Or working, or... See all the dry soil that's coming up? Oh yeah, I hear you, mate. Yeah, I've had to knock some work back, Gazza, so. As you get older, mate, my 54-year-old body is nowhere nearly as strong as my 45-year-old body, you know. So I've got to start cutting back, mate, before it starts getting a bit too much, you know what I mean? Alright. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get the shovel and I'm going to turn this over, right, and then we'll start all over again. Oh, I better charge that flipping camera. That would help. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, even though we've put heaps of moisture through here. Oh, nice one. Oh yeah, here you go, mate. All right, so see this? Even though I put so much water on there, underneath it's still dry. Right, so let's just turn this over for now. Right, that's something else. That's from the stuff that I tried to get rid of, which we'll put over there. Right, so after turning it all over, it's dry underneath. Hello, Susie Q. Oh dear, I know who that message was typed from. Oh dear, Sindel. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Okay, so that's junk, basically. That's the really fibrous stuff that won't break down in the soil anyway. Let's get that through there. Thank you. Rightio, so get that in there. When you've got moisture in your soil and you've got stuff like these ferns and that sort of stuff, they push out fresh roots and form like a matting, completely drains the soil out of everything, right? And when you've got these, other stuff doesn't grow that well. So what you've got to do is just restrict the water to it, and after a while what they'll do is they'll just dry out, okay? So what I'm going to do now is this. Right. Yeah, unfortunately the ice cream and chocolate milk that I like, Sindel, is from a shop that isn't open today. But as of tomorrow, it will be. So, might do myself a favour and go down and get some, eh? Might boil up a couple of eggs. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to transplant the rhubarb in here. I think we'll only have a 1 hour window. Yeah, but there's different types of chocolate milk, Susie Q. The best type of chocolate milk really is free chocolate milk, you know what I mean? good. If I can just get them in here. It's like anything, Susie Q, you know. I mean, you'll always remember the free dinner that you have, but you don't remember the one that you paid for, you know what I mean? Even if the free dinner that you have is a disaster, you know, at least it was free. Right. All right, there we go. Excellent. Let's go back here. Rightio. That's better. Now what I'm going to do is, I've got two types of rhubarb out there. What we're going to do is I'm going to plant the big one in here, right? Then we're going to dig out the other side, okay? And then I'm going to put this smaller one in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get the chainsaw out, which is good because I get to dress like a village person, right? And then what we'll do is, oh, these are horrible. We'll cut these back and poison them, okay? Yeah, good, Susie Q, good. They're just over there doing their thing, mate. Well, that's good, because whereas the water before was pooling, see how it's actually getting absorbed by the soil now, which is mainly sand anyway, but see that, like I can hit that now, right, ta-da, and the sand is actually absorbing it, which is good, which means it's getting down deeper. So, rightio. Excellent. Right, people, so what we'll do now is, we've got half of the chicken manure out. There's all the girls there, Susie Q. Alright, they're all sitting in their little washing machine housing. Okay, so now people, what I've got to do here, okay, is this. I'm going to dig out the rhubarb here. Right, this is the big one. Okay, so that's gonna, that is gonna get brought over here. So, ideally I'd like to get it out in one clump, if you know what I mean. But you can't have everything, can you? Right. Well, if you actually stick around, Sindel, and watch the fishing streams, I'll show you. That's pretty dry too, which is a bit weird. Why is it doing that? Okay, so we're going to lose most of this. Hang on, Famo. Right. Excellent. Lovely. Righty, let's have a look. Okay. Right. So with bugger. So with rhubarb, the roots on the rhubarb are much like the tentacles on an octopus. What was that movie? The Pirates of the Caribbean, the really nasty squid villain dude. Looks like his beard, doesn't it? So what you've got to try and do, so we've got to try and get some of these with a little bit of the roots in there, which we'll do now, okay? So just chuck that down here, okay? Well, Sindel, you need to get out more, you know, meet new people, make new friends. Yeah. I'm sorry if the virgin white shirt has offended you, Sindel. Yeah. No, you can't eat rhubarb, girls. As inviting as they look, you'll get very sick. Huge taproots. Now, so what this is our garlic bed. Right. This is our garlic bed. So what's going to happen here is it's quite a simple process. All I've got to do is hit that, turn it over, and it's going to be ready to sow. Not going to shift that one yet. We'll get this all organised and then we'll just work it out from there. So let's go back over here. Right. And we'll figure this out. Probably shouldn't. Okay. More rhubarb, Sindel, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, so we need to count. Well, that one's had the pork. That one's had the pork. That one's had the pork. Okay, great. So what we've got here is we've got one of the rhubarbs with a little bit of the root connected to it. That will grow again. Okay, so here it is. Right. This is good. All the flies are coming in. That's the roots from the really annoying trees, which will not be with us for too much longer. Right. There we go. Okay. So, what we'll do now, whenever you transplant something, people, always fill the hole with water first before you do anything else. Right. Just fill the hole with water and let it drain back. what that will do is put some valuable moisture into the ground that you're trying to plant into. Right. Should be enough for that. Let me get this stupid cement garden ornament out of there. Right, so that's going in there now. Great, so we got one. No, not to me, Sindel, because I ruined a good month and had a shower. They're actually attracted to the chicken manure. Now see this here? I was going to say, when you transplant the garlic, always try and, you know, transplant it with some of the roots. Rhubarb drop. Okay, great. So, even though we don't have any leaves on this, there's a couple of crowns on here, right? If I plant that, it'll go through a little bit of duress, but that will come back because rhubarb's quite tough, right? So that's the second one that I'm going to plant. Right. Rightio. So this one we'll put in here. Right. And even though we've already filled it with water, do it again, because what will happen is it'll push out all the air between the sand particles, right? And then that way the roots will make contact with it. All right, so let's get that out. That's the other crown. Right, let's push that down. Even though, like I said, there's no foliage coming off it, it'll still shoot. There you go. I know what I'm doing when I'm fishing, Sindel, just trying to do it live on stream's the tough part, isn't it, like everything in life. Right, so let's dig another one. And look, if you want to give them a bit more of a chance to get going, every half hour, just come up and give them a bit of a water, just to keep the moisture up to them, okay? Because it's a bit of a shock transplanting them. But when you do, I mean, look at all that dry soil there. Right. Now, that's a seed stem. Okay, so what we've got here is I've got actually another couple of crowns. So what happens is with your rhubarb, with these little rhubarb crowns, they're attached to the roots, okay? And that's what puts out the leaves and that sort of stuff. So see that there, how I've managed to keep them intact. That's not going to do anything though. Right, so what we'll do is, I'll just get rid of this one. Right, so that'll produce more leaves, as will that, okay? So, let's just trim that up a bit though. And that one we'll just chuck in there, like so. You've got to leave at least 30 centimetres between your rhubarb. What that'll do is that'll allow them to not be too competitive with one another and give oh, thanks, Blood Angel. You know, for those of you that know your stuff, like you, Blood Angel, you know. Thanks, Shane. And look, that's what we do, bud. I mean, you know, mate, this is, our streams reflect society, really, because I'm 54 years of age, right? So I grew up doing this. And I mean, now that, you know, consoles are parenting most kids, they don't really get their hands dirty like we did, you know what I mean? So, you know, with our streams, but with your gardening, Shane, the reason why I'm transplanting this now, so what happens is we're at the tail end of our summer, right? We're now into March. We've had a very long, hot, dry season. You've got to wait for that first week towards the end of the summer, which is normally February, but it's dragged out into March this year. Okay, nothing to do with global warming, it's just the cycle, okay? All right, we're due for this, and we're due for a lot of rain, if not next year, the year after. It's been about 75 years since we've had floods in WA, so we're due again. This reminds me of the summer of 84, when we had problems with water, right? So, yeah, our streams are free, right? It costs you nothing to watch the stream. And basically what I'm doing is, with all of our content, whether it's fishing or gardening or whatever, you can watch what we do here, right? And you can go off and do it yourself. And look, if you've got a family and you want to save some money, interest rates are ridiculous, people, you know? Nobody has the disposable income that they had years ago, right? And I mean, you know, it's just getting creamed off the top, isn't it? And of course, it's the working class like us that have the headaches, and we top up everyone, you know? So, I mean, that's what it comes down to, you know? Oh, get out of it, bugger. So, what this does, I mean, when I went to Coles the other week and had a look at the price of fruit and veg, I fell over. You know, rhubarb's about $30 a kilo. If you get the conditions right, the flopping thing grows like a weed. So, you know, why not show people how to grow? You know what I mean? Rhubarb is, I think every grandmother has rhubarb. That's a tree root under there. That's not though. Oh no. Hey there, Jurassic Bark. Welcome, bud. Okay, I'll put another one in here. Now, all plants, when you transplant them, right, go through something that's known as transplant stress syndrome or transplant shock syndrome, whatever you want to call it. The easiest way to get over this is to soak them beforehand with their roots in seaweed extract, right, which we haven't done here, purely because the soil was so poor. Wasn't much point, but I'll give this a day or two, and just got to be careful of the chooks because, oh, that's what I forgot. I've had a hawk that's been hanging around the chook pen that has been falling out of the sky and chasing native birds. Our chooks are a bit big, so it's been leaving them alone. Right, now let's give this a bit of water. The thing is, people, a lot of these TV shows, you'll see them, they go, oh yeah, you know, you need to water it in. You will never get as much water into the base of a plant from the top, like this, right, as you will by filling the hole that you're planting them into first. Alright? So don't fall for that. It doesn't matter if this you put back in is dry, you're going to wet it again anyway. Right, so as you can hear by what I'm doing here, right, that hole's been filled up with water. Good. Just going to let it soak. Now just give me a second. I've got to get the water for the chickens. Have you still got water in there, girls? Oh no, you still got water. You're right. That'll last you for the rest of today. Now, what do we got here? Okay. I don't know whether that one's going to survive now. Let's have a look. Right. See, out of all of this rhubarb, Shane, yeah, so what you do, you know when you buy your seedlings from your local nursery or whatever, just put about 1 centimetre in the bottom of a flat tray and dip your seedlings in there overnight. Let them absorb it through the holes in the seed tray, then transplant them, okay? Makes life easier for you, bud. There we go. Here's me worried about having enough room. I'm going to have enough room for both types of rhubarb in here. The other thing is too, if you plant your seedlings a little bit lower than the ground around them, they'll retain more moisture. Oh, you're welcome, Shane. That's about, look, you know, you got to remember, people, seaweed extract isn't a fertiliser, it's a tonic. It's a little bit like a multivitamin for humans, right? So a lot of people go, yeah, I fertilised my plants with seaweed extract. No, you didn't. You just gave them a little bit of a boost, you know? So if you've got fertiliser as added, different story, right? And every time someone mentions seaweed extract, they automatically think sea salt. You don't need to do that, right? There are plenty of cheap seaweed extracts out there that do the jobs, people, okay? And the other thing is too, coarse sand like this is one of the best things to transplant into. Even when you're doing seedlings and cuttings and that. Like what I'll do is I'm going to show you how to get new roses out of your rose cuttings this year, people. It's not that hard to do. All right. So let's just rake a bit of the dry stuff out of this garden bed, like that. I'll pick that up later. Here we go, like so. Bring that in here. Hey. Right. In here, like so. Now what we're going to do is, right, we're going to use like the fishbone method. So we're going to do another one here, right, like so. Another one here, like so. Another one here. Another one here. Hey, maybe not in there, and then we're going to put one smack bang in the middle like that. Right, so in here, we're going to have 11 plants. Okay, but let's just see what we're going to get out of this first. All right, so this is the bulkiest plant that I had of the rhubarb. Now, this is the problem when you buy them from your nurseries and that sort of stuff. I've left them in there for a season, right, to get a bit of heat into them. And so that, see how it's got a few roots on there? That'll go in. Right, this one might have a chance, but what you need to do, see these big ones on the outside, right, they're going to die off anyway, right, so just leave that one in the middle. So that's your rhubarb crown there. See how the new leaves are coming through? Right, so we got one. There we go. Jacko, how are you, bud? Right, like that. So there's another one, and all those big leaves that draw all the moisture out of them are gone. Right. That's a seed one, you won't need that. So there's another one that we've got. So that's 3. Now see how that's got a little bit of root on it as well? Right. See that there? That's a fresh rhubarb leaf coming through there. Right, so that one's pretty good. So that's our 4. Oh, excellent, Jacko. Yeah, good, mate. Just, you know, chilling out, mate. There's another crown there. And see, I didn't read about this in books or anything, people. I got shown this by family. So I'm only passing on what they showed me. Right, so there's another one there. And I think we're going to end up, yeah, see, that's the big seed crown. Once you get this, oh no, we might be all right, hang on. Once you get the big seed crown, that makes it tough. We might, oh no, we won't. Oh yeah, we might. And what have we got here? Oh, we got a few. Let's have a look. Well, that one will definitely go through. So, 10. Oh, nice one, Jacko. Right, I'm going to use this as the crown, I think. We'll see if we can get that one going in there. Alrighty, so that's it. Out of all of that mass, we've got 11 usable crowns. Make that 12. That should go all right, I think. Anyway, without mucking around, let's get on with it. We're just gonna, the longer you leave them out, people, the more they dry out. Okay? So get them in the ground fairly quickly. Is it the in-laws, Jacko, or your side? Yeah, a lot of people nowadays are trying to downplay that, Shane, which is really annoying. Everybody seems to know best nowadays, but you know. Google's allowed everyone to be an expert, mate. And this is a pain. It's a real pain. What have we got there? Right, hang on. Thanks for that, Shane. There are lots of people out there like me, mate, but not all of them are tech savvy. Got it. You know, so I'm lucky. The first time I used a computer was 1976. It was the size of a desk. Oh, that's exactly right, Shane, you know. And the sad bit about that, bud, is they take themselves so seriously. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, bud, Google is the rehypnol of the self-righteous, mate. Oh, that's right, Shane. I worked somewhere once, and I had a line manager. And every time I'd go into the office and ask for something, she'd go to Google, and I was just shocked, you know. Someone on 100 grand a year, and it acts like it's at school, you know. Oh dear. Right, let's get this in here. Lovely. It's a nice little fresh one in there. Don't worry, buddy. We'll have all that shade out by tomorrow. You'll be good. You'll be good. Now, in here. So what we're doing is we're tapping these crowns straight into water that's mixed in with soil. Right? You can hear by the squelch of it that there's a heap of moisture content in this soil, which is good. And then, right, now see this, right? Pay attention. I like rhubarb, however it comes out, mate. I like rhubarb and apple pie. I love rhubarb and custard, but one of my favourites is rhubarb crumble. Right, so, see, watch the height of the rhubarb. Just to give you an idea, have a look at the height of this rhubarb. Watch what happens when I tread on it. Right, what I'm doing is I'm pushing all the air out from between the sand in this rhubarb, right? I'll zoom in on this one and I'll show you this one, okay? So, this is the one that we're going to do, right? So see the height of this now, okay? Watch how the height changes once I push all the air out from between the soil. Watch. See that? See how much it's sunk into the soil? That's very important when you're transplanting plants, because what it does is it gives you an avenue to with rhubarb, Marco, when you prepare rhubarb, you've got to take the outside coating off it. So what you would do is, I was to prep this for cooking. See that there? You've got to peel that off the rhubarb, see? Like that. Okay, so you do that with a knife. That's all the fibrous stuff on the outside of it, because on the inside, you know, it's quite tart. You use lemon juice. It's got an acid in it that'll get all the tart out of the rhubarb. So see this? Right. So that's where most of the fibre is, on the rhubarb on the outside of the skin, see? So once you take that off, right there, once you take that off there, that's what you eat under there, not the red stuff, the stuff that's underneath. Righto, let's just bring that back out. Let's bring that back out. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just going to give these a little drink. Now, see how I filled the base of the rhubarb plant's area that I was potting it with water? That's got more than enough water in it for the rhubarb to absorb it. All we're doing here is just topping it up. So the leaves will start to drop off in a minute, but that's how it goes when you transplant stuff, you know. Okay. Ta-da. Hey Mystic, how are you, bud? Swamp Rat, welcome. Now let's put the last 3 rhubarb crowns in, and then I'm going to trim some of this other stuff away. Now, right, we've got 3 more in the middle. Right, there we go. Let's get that done. Hey Carl, how are you, bud? What was that about, Blood Angel? You're kidding. Carl, welcome, bud. Oh dear. Makes you wonder if they actually went to nurse school, Blood Angel, doesn't it, eh? Wow, I don't believe that. They Googled what plaster you needed. You could have done that at home yourself. God. And Shane, that's why I made the cheeky comment about the special, high-tech gardening, like fertiliser applicator, and then brought the bucket out, because everybody just tries to complicate stuff, man. They try and make everything so difficult. And you got to buy this special fertiliser applicator. Oh, wow, that's amazing. It's a glorified bucket, But everything's like that. Fishing's like that. Yeah, if you want to catch fish, you got to use this gear. So, rightio. Okay. Wow. There we go. So what we've done, out of that one big clump of rhubarb, we've got 11 crowns. Okay. That's exactly right, Blood Angel. Just make sure your hands are always dry before you use fertiliser, because your skin will draw the fertiliser in if it's wet, But people, when you think about it too, with the streaming, I mean, look, I use my own content on the other channel, but how do you feel about, when streamers use Google just to show other people's content? You know what I mean? So I personally think that's not a very, very good way to do it, because all they're doing is cashing in on other people's work, But that's just my thoughts. Beautiful. So Shane, where are you in the world? Are you in Australia or America or New Zealand? Oh, 12 o'clock already. Central US, Oklahoma. Oh, nice one, mate. You're coming out of your winter into your summer now, so you've only got like a 16-week window, haven't you, you poor bugger? If a tornado doesn't come and rip everything through. Broccoli, cauliflower and silver beet. Nice one, Marco. Now what's going to happen over the next couple of days, right, is the leaves on these plants are going to start to drop off. But that's all right, because what I'm going to do when everything cools down later on, and just after dark, I'm going to get a seaweed extract mix, and I'm going to cover the plants with it, okay? So that way it'll give them a bit of a kick. Now, one thing I've got to do, just excuse me for a second, I've just got to prune all this garbage out, okay? Broccoli last year. Brassicas are very good for you, mate. One thing that grows well in this coastal sand is brassicas, which is cauliflower and broccoli. I'm actually going to do more beetroot this year, because with beetroot it can come up fairly quickly, and it's a lot better for you, if you know what I mean. So hey, Shane, does each state in America have its own version of mac and cheese? I mean, do you guys actually eat any veg? Or is it just strictly junk food? Hey, mate, I've had a look at some of the recipes out there, mate, and it's like, how do these people not like keel over and die? And then you look at them and go, yep, take that back. Okay, so just give me a second. Cryptic OCE, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. How's life treating you, buddy? You well? So with the username OCE, you're a gamer, are you, bud? Which game do you play? Do you play PUBG, Counter-Strike? I'm sort of nearly up on all that sort of stuff now, so I can sort of tell, if you know what I mean. Not that I'm a hipster or anything, because I'll never be that, but anyway. Hang on, I'm just going to get some pruning shears. Where are they? Leave them in my car. Oh, mate, slow down. There's kids that walk up and down this street, you idiot. Ah, dear. Time for a brick through a window, I think. No, all those seeds, right? No. Where'd me flipping secateurs go? Yep. Get organised. Had too much work on. Cut work back. More time for me to catch up on everything around here. Alright. Well, yeah. I grab that. Oh dear. Don't leave everyone waiting, Jim. I've got far more important stuff to do than sit around and wait for you all day, bud. Right. I hate wasting people's time on live streams. Hey! Dun dun dun! Okay. Rightio. So now what I'm going to do, wow, thank you very much to the 33 people that have tuned into the live stream. Thanks, people. Okay, so what we've got now, I don't know whether you can see this, people. Through here, we have a fair bit of shade on this side, okay? Whoa. Skate 3. All mac and cheese. He only eats chicken and pizza. Jesus Christ, Shane. He might have too much blood in his cholesterol, mate. Really? My God. How the hell can you survive on a cholesterol sandwich every day, mate? Ugh. Couldn't think of anything worse. I look at a sausage roll and my flippin' arteries grow hands and try and stop me from smelling it. Excuse me. All right. So now we mean business. Da 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 da. Rightio. So this is not going to be with us for much longer. Oh, is it? Mate. Oh, yeah, I don't get it, mate. I haven't bought fruit and veg from the supermarket, right, well, I just eat straight out of the garden, people. So, you know, we had capsicums, Lebanese cucumbers this year, you know, all sorts of stuff. And, yeah, like I said, I haven't eaten or bought anything from a supermarket all year. So, you know, and all I've been doing is using natural methods to garden with. The thing that concerns me, apparently there's an idiot belting around in the States trying to convince everyone that traditional gardening methods are bad for the environment. I mean, for the love of God, really? Let's get some of this shade taken away so this rhubarb can photosynthesize. Come on. No, I'm being serious, cryptic, mate. I don't get it, pal. You know, like mankind's been living in balance for thousands of years, right? You know, and I mean, I'm doing it how they did it in the old days, mate. I've got chickens, you know, I eat the eggs from the chickens, and I use the fertiliser from my chickens to fertilise the garden. That's why I can grow all the... Look, the thing is, right, yes, mate, like modern gardening, bud. Here, I'll show you what I mean, right? So everyone, like a lot of people said to me, you won't grow anything half decent this year, right? So let me show you one of the zucchinis that I grew. Okay. So this was a traditional heirloom seed, right, which I've still got. I'm going to keep for next year. But so check that out. That's one of the zucchinis that came out of my garden this year. I rephrase that, our garden, right? So that's nearly as long as my arm. Okay, I'm worried vegans are going to start jumping the fence, you know. So the thing is with this though, let me show you the difference between a zucchini grown with natural methods and a zucchini that's not. So if this wasn't grown with natural methods, okay? And it's literally like my lower leg, people, okay? If this wasn't grown with natural methods, and if it was grown with the granular NPK fertilisers, that'd be as hard as a rock, okay? Let me just get a knife. I'll just show you what I mean here. Right, so, unfortunately, people, one thing that modern gardening techniques have removed is the cycle of gardening, okay? Because with your gardening, okay, everything's a cycle. You only grow certain things at certain times of the year, okay? And you're working with nature. Now everyone tries to control it, right? So watch, let me show you. Now, in the old country, my old man used to grow what he used to eat. That's animal or vegetable, right? So with this, okay, they would use marrow, or zucchinis as we call them in Australia, to, you know, fatten up livestock, all that sort of stuff, you know, right? Ta-da. So this is actually a seed zucchini. See how it's gone golden inside? Well, I could cook that now and eat it, no dramas, but we have far more worthy recipients of it. Girls, chook, 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 chook. Come on. Come here. There you go. Come on. There. Okay. In summer, when animals are trying to get moisture, growing zucchinis and storing them is a fantastic way of providing them with trace elements, moisture, and a bit of a filler, okay? So they get the nice big seeds, and as you can see, right, with what we've got there, okay, they love it. All right, they will strip that back to the green skin. If you've got pigs, okay, and other animals, pigs love zucchinis and squash and all that sort of stuff. This one here on the left is not very well. She hasn't been well for a long time. I dewormed her a while ago. I've got to do it again. She's improved a lot and put a fair bit of weight on, but she's still not as healthy as the others. Okay. Yeah, see how she's a bit giddy on her feet? So I don't know what's happened there. Come on, darling. Right, let me just get you some water. All right, so basically what'll happen now is that's a really good way of putting a bit of volume into their food. All right, what's the matter? No, I gave you the zucchini there. Come on, I'll get some water. Right, so, and it's free feed. So basically all I need to do now, right, is just and they'll just pick away at their leisure, fam. They'll take their time, they'll eat what they want to eat, they won't eat what they want to eat. You know what I mean, see? Here, I'll zoom in on for you. Okay, there we go. So as you can see with that, I've cut the zucchini in half, and it's beautiful food for them, see? You know, they'll just sit around, right, do their own thing. Excuse me for a second, I've just got to fill up their water bottle. Oh yeah. That's still on the chickens? Nope, that is. There we are. Right. So, you've got chickens at home. You know, you've got to remember, because when you feed them wheat and grain and that sort of stuff, they don't have much moisture in the food, right? But when you cut a zucchini in half like that and throw it down on the ground in front of them, right, basically what it does, it gives them a nice soft food that they can eat. It's got plenty of moisture in it. It'll fill up their crop, you know, and away they go. Now you've got to remember too that 9 times out of 10, right, these still have a bit of salt in them and that, so always make sure they've got plenty of fresh water. Rightio. And see how they just pick at the flesh? They'll just do it in their own time. I mean, look how full their crops are. Look how far the front of their chest hangs down. It's quite noticeable on that Silver Lace Wyandotte, which is the one with the white feathers with the black outline. One's got a big clump of food and it's run off with it. Well done. Good work. That's the heaviest that chicken's crop has been for a while. Alright, just give me a second there, mate. Well done, girls, get into it. It's for you. And really nice old-fashioned zucchini like that has really nice golden flesh in it. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom out now. Right, I've just filled up the water for them. I've got a lot of work to do before the winter, people. We've got about a month. Right, so yeah, got about a month, and then that way I just got to make sure that everything's ready for the winter. I've left a heap of the weeds out and that, so the chickens have still got, hey. There you go, girls. There you go, fresh water. Good work, hey? What's going on? Come on, you got to get into this grass too. Right. All this stuff up here, right, these are all the dying bodies of the zucchini plants and the burpless cucumber. I've got some spaghetti squash mixed in here. I've got weeds, I've got sunflowers. Just going to give them another 3 or 4 days. Then I'm going to throw everything in the middle, going to run the lawnmower over it. Then going to chop it into the soil. We're going to put some organic matter back in the soil. Right. This chicken here is unwell. See how it moves slower than the other ones and its legs are crossing over and that. So this sort of stuff produces a nice filler for them, okay? And excellent. So what they can do is they'll get trace elements and that sort of stuff. That'll be better for them, you know? So they'll just come back and eat it at their own leisure, okay? All right, let's go back here now. Right, let me just put the knife away, people, to chat. Sorry about that. Hey. Yeah, they do, mate. Good point. Good point. Yeah, and rock melon, but rock melon can be a bit tough on them, especially when you throw it at them. You know what I mean? So, Rightio. Now, oh dear. What I'm doing here, people, is I've got to run a chainsaw through here later, right? You never ever want to run a chainsaw through heaps and heaps of branches because it'll grab. Yeah. Roosters make an awesome pasta, mate. You never eat hens unless they're too old, but rooster al dente, beautiful. A lot of people don't realise too that chicken meat off a farm isn't pale, it's actually red and quite gamey, you know what I mean? The reason why it's pale when you buy it from the shops is because it gets bleached, you know what I'm saying? There we go. So, yeah, running a chainsaw through lots of branches like this is a great way for it to grab and then to like lose a leg, you know. Yeah, that's it, mate. It helps them like get everything through their crop, you know. Rightio, so now what we've done is we've gotten rid of the shade in front of this rhubarb here, okay, which is good. And da-da, da-da-da-da-da, see? Bit of sunlight, lovely. Now, what have we got here? That's the second cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the chainsaw and I'm going to cut a fresh cut on that trunk there from the plants that were here before, and then I'm just going to paint it with neat round to it. Yeah, that's right, mate. And you know, now the girls are all in the shade there, which is good. Nah, not really, mate. They don't need to farm them because the little ferals are everywhere, Shane. A lot of people don't know that you use more nutrients than what rabbit meat gives you when you eat it. So whenever you eat rabbit, you've got to eat it with a bit of veg and that sort of stuff. Otherwise, you'll start getting negative with your nutrient intake with them. That's why a lot of the old settlers and that keeled over from living on rabbit, because they just ate rabbit, and you need more nutrients than what they give you to you know, to digest it and that. Well, that's good. That's very good. Now just get rid of a. I wonder if I should just use the hand saw. Yeah, we have a rabbit-proof fence in WA. Shane, Google that, mate. They actually built a fence to keep rabbits out, bud. Not really rabbit-proof though. Now, beautiful. Let me just get rid of this garbage. There we go. Lovely. Right. Okay. Which one's that, Mystic? Movie or documentary? No, it's a bit of a pain. Oh, is it? Okay. That must be riveting. Okay. Now, what have I got here? I've got some of this dry stuff here. Let me just that's good. All right, now let's give them another drink. Always make sure your water's cold, people, and not hot. All right, because if it's warm, it'll kill them. Now these ones here in the shade, okay, I can give them seaweed extract now. As long as it's not in direct sunlight, you're okay, you know. So what'll happen is these leaves will start to drop off a bit. Once the roots take, then they'll start to shoot again, you know. Then hopefully we'll get some rhubarb. There we go. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, bobcats and birds, but you get proper hares in America, don't you, Shane? Like the big ones? Or the jackrabbits, you call them, don't you? Don't you call them jackrabbits or something? No, you're right. You know these rabbits the size of small dogs and that? Oh, girls, good work. There we go, people. So, we've got the start of our new rhubarb patch. So, over the next 6 weeks, there's going to be a massive transformation here. Okay, right, over the next 6 weeks, like I said, massive transformation. Okay, and what happens is, okay, these beds will be going, right, that'll be going, the ginger will be staying, okay, and then and what we'll do is we'll have rhubarb through here, and then once the chickens end up getting rid of all this grass down here, right, I probably need another 4 chickens to make them work a little bit more. But now that the heat's gone, because chickens don't like heat, they're not too bad in the cold, you know, but we can work around that. And yeah, this is all going to change. We've got avocado, white flesh nectarine and plum tree there. Jackrabbits, right. And then once we get all the couch grass out of this bottom bed, okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to plant a sweet potato in here and normal potato through the winter. We'll probably do that around August. So we'll take advantage of the spring, okay, and then away we go from there. So we're going to put a heap of beetroot in this year and a heap of carrot, okay, because we're going to be using the juicer flat out, all right, and yeah, the whole garden's going to change. And this year what we will also do is we're going to try and winter over some of the big chili trees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put black plastic around them so that it attracts the heat to keep them warm. And then what that will do is that will hopefully keep the frosts out. So we've got a couple of chili trees over there that have already gone to like a chili wood, right? So they're done. And then the others we're hopefully going to be able to winter over. So what I've done is I've just let all the weeds come back in the garden bed. It won't take us long. We're going to go through, we're going to rip out all the tomatoes, we'll get some seeds out of the tomatoes. We've got some nice cherry tomatoes there. We'll take all the couch grass and the weeds that have come out and just throw it in here for the chickens. I think I might, no, we did have some chickens that were sort of nesting for a while. They've lost all the feathers off their bum, right? If they don't come back, we're just going to get some special mite treatment for them as well. All right, well look, what we'll do now is we've got our 3, 6, 9, 11 rhubarb plants in here. That's going to be more than enough rhubarb to feed an army, right? So once the roots take, like I said, tonight I'm going to give them a good drink with some seaweed extract. So hopefully that'll give them a little bit of a boost, okay? And then what we'll do during the week is we will start digging up the rest of it. I'm going to put a cut through there, right? And then, like I said, I'm going to poison it with Roundup, which is a glyphosate. And then once we poison it with the glyphosate, it'll stop shooting, all right? Then we'll just take some of the, see, I can't even burn that because it's too close to the fence. That's going to be a bit of a bugger. Or could I? I probably could, you know. Actually, I probably could burn that. I'll see how, what do they call it? A Swedish fire or whatever. So, you know. Right, all right, people. Well, look, thanks very much for tuning in. We've got one lot of the rhubarb in. Tomorrow morning we'll swap the other one out, and then I'll seed the garlic tomorrow. I'll get some more I'll get some more moisture into that bed. The good thing is, people, in those summer months, if you leave your garlic in the ground for too long, what happens is it'll shoot out and push out what they call, the Macedonians calls it mushkal, which is like the male stem for obvious reasons, right? But, like I said, we're starting to get down to the cold nights and the days under 30s. That's when you seed it. So we're in March. We'll have all of April. The rains will come in May. So if we can get our garlic to about, say, 20 to 30 centimetres by May, right, then that way it's already got the roots established in there. So when we get that into the ground through the winter and the spring, we'll have garlic like this. Last year I planted the garlic in May. This year I'm going to do it end of March. So what it'll do is give us a longer growing season. We'll get some more size into our garlic, okay? And then that way what we will do is when we have enough of it for next year, we'll also use it as an insect repellent and a pesticide in the garden, which is a natural one anyway, okay? All right, so I've got to go and do some work. So what we will do is we will, you don't buy garlic from seedlings, you stick. Garlic's in bulbs, mate. I grew garlic last year and I kept the bulbs, and I've already separated my seed garlic from my eating garlic. In the middle of the garlic, what you'll have is around the main stem you'll have some garlic that are an odd shape. The ones on the outside of the garlic are the ones you eat. They're the ones you plant, right? The ones that you have on the inside are the ones that you eat. So you too, swamp rat. Right, now, what do we got here? Let's get rid of that, and that, and that. Who have we got? Let's go and raid. What are we going to raid? Yeah, we're going raid Rolly. Alright people, we're going to go and raid Rolly Polypotamus. Okay, he's been a big supporter of our community for a while. So thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate the fact that we got to over 30 viewers today, because I haven't streamed for a while, but with winter coming on we're going to be doing a lot more streaming on Australis TV. Bye for now.
Australis is back.